In the previous video, we talked about the concept of yin and yang. Today, we will discuss something simple, but yet closely related to our daily lives. With further ado, let's begin.
Today's topic is the 12 Xiaoxi hexagrams. As the name suggests, they consist of 12 hexagrams. The term Xiaoxi here means waning and diminishing. What is waning? The two forces of yin and yang. As we mentioned before, yin and yang are in constant flux. One grows while the other declines. These hexagrams clearly reflect this process of change.
Before diving into the hexagrams, let's first understand the Chinese lunar calendar. Why? Because Chinese people traditionally prefer using the lunar calendar to mark time.
As an agrarian society, the arrival of each season needs to be precisely tracked. For example, March 5th on the Gregorian calendar corresponds to lunar February 6th, which marks the solar term Jingzhe, awakening of insects. Once lunar February 6th arrives, insects underground will definitely start burrowing upward to emerge. But if it were Gregorian February 6th, this wouldn't happen. The insects wouldn't come out. Feel free to observe this phenomenon yourself if you are curious. Therefore, all months mentioned later refer to lunar months, not the Gregorian ones. The first one is Fu hexagram. It's also called Di Lei Fu, Earth over Thunder. Earth refers to the Kun hexagram, pure yin, and thunder refers to the Zhen hexagram. This corresponds to lunar November. Why is this the starting point? In the Taiji diagram, lunar October marks the peak of yin's power. But after reaching its zenith, decline inevitably follows. This is the fundamental principle. Thus, yang energy begins to grow slowly here. Looking at this hexagram, the top 5 lines are called yin, the broken line, while the bottom line is called yang. Though weak and low precision, yang has begun its gradual ascent, symbolizing the start of a new cycle, hence the name return. The second one is Lin hexagram, Lin Gua, approach. Di Ze Lin, earth over lake. Earth is still Kun, and the lake refers to the Dui hexagram. Here, yang energy rises to the second line, growing stronger. This corresponds to lunar December, marking the end of the winter. The second one is Tai hexagram, peace. Di Tian Tai, earth over heaven. Earth remains Kun, and heaven is Qian. Yin energy descends, as we know from daily life, while yang energy ascends. With Kun, the yin force, above moving downward, and the Qian, yang force, below moving upward, they inevitably meet. Their union mirrors the coupling of male and female, giving birth to all things. This marks the beginning of growth. Spring blossoms arrive. Thus, it corresponds to lunar January, the starting of spring. This vibrant sign is why it's called peace, Tai, symbolizing smoothness and the absence of obstacles. The balance of yin and yang forces here reflect the Chinese emphasis on harmony. Next one, 大壮卦, 大壮 hexagram, great strength. 雷天大壮, thunder over heaven. Thunder is Zhen, and heaven is Qian. Great strength refers to yang dominance over yin. This corresponds to lunar February, when plants grow vigorously. 怪 hexagram resolution. 则天怪 lake over heaven. Lake is 对 and heaven is 乾. 怪 means to sever or decide. The hexagram's shape resembles something broken at a corner. This marks lunar March, the end of spring. Next one is 乾 hexagram, 乾卦, heaven. Pure yang energy. Yang is associated with heat, so this marks the start of summer, lunar April. However, please note that yang has reached its peak and will soon decline. After Qian hexagram, we reach the Gou hexagram, Gou Gua, encounter. 天风 Gou, heaven over wind. Heaven remains Qian, and the wind is Xun. Here, yin energy appears weakly at the bottom. Gou means encounter, specifically yin meeting yang. It also metaphorically signifies marriage or copulating. Generally, yin, feminine, is passive and quiet, while yang, masculine, is active. In courtship, the male typically initiates, while the female may accept or reject. If reversed, female pursuing male, the male rarely refuses, making copulation natural. This corresponds to lunar May. Dun hexagram, Dun Gua, means retreat. Tian Shan Dun, heaven over mountain. Heaven is Qian and the mountain is Gun. Yin's power strengthens. Dun means to retreat. Why? Yin symbolizes darkness and danger, while yin is still controllable here. If it grows further to balance Xiang, retreating later will be too late. Thus, one must withdraw earlier to avoid misfortune. This corresponds to lunar June, the end of summer. The next one is Pi hexagram, stagnation. 地天痞, heaven over earth. Heaven is Qian and earth is Kun. The upside of Tai hexagram, Pi, means adversity, danger, or obstruction. Why? Yang above and yin below refuses to interact, preventing the birth of all things. This corresponds to lunar July, autumn, a season of harvesting crops. And the saying goes, a sickle reaps you, how could this be good? The next one is Guan Gua, Guan hexagram, observation. 风地观, wind over earth. Wind is Xun and the earth is Kun. Yang's power is now weaker than Yin's. Guan means to observe. Caution is advised, as rash actions invite disaster. This corresponds to lunar August. Bo Gua, Bo hexagram, fueling. Shan Di Bo, mountain over earth. Mountain is Gun and the earth is Kun. 5 yin lines besiege 1 yang line. Death is inevitable. Bo means to peel, akin to cruelly stripping of kin. This corresponds to lunar September, the end of autumn. The last one is Kun hexagram, Kun Gua, earth. Pure yin energy at its peak. This marks the start of winter, lunar October. The cold demands hibernation. Like insects, we should stay quiet. The cycle then restarts with the full hexagram.
So now, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the 12消息卦. Stay tuned for more intriguing Chinese characters and concepts. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. See you next time. Bye bye. 再见.